No. I guess I'm just gonna put it that way.
Andrew? Justine? Nope. Thank you.
We're back from closed session at 6:41.
To record.
And I,
Lo pongo en mi Facebook. Pues si
We have
quieres,
two items
quieres
to
hacerlo
report,
nomás ahora cuando.
okay.
Yeah, thank you, Board President. We have two items to report out under closed session item 5.3. The first is on a motion by trustee Ruby Lopez and seconded by trustee Martinez. The board voted unanimously to reject the government tort claim of John Doe F.E. And the second item is on a motion of trustee Rudy Lopez and seconded by trustee Martinez. The board voted unanimously to reject this government tort claim of John Doe E.A. That is all.
Thank you. So now, we'll do roll call. Dr. Potter?
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our board meeting. We're on agenda item number 7, which is roll call. Board member Rosalia Palisige is out of town and not present. Board member Ruby Lopez.
Here.
Board clerk Antonio Martinez.
Present.
Board vice president Zenaida Rosario.
Present.
And board president Irene Lopez.
Present.
Madam President, you have a quorum of 4.
Thank you. Now we're on item 8, the flag salute. Would you please stand up? Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're on number 9, public comment and communication on open session item. So we have Roxanne from the student.
We're doing public comment?
Yes. Your turn.
You have 3 minutes.
No. Oops. Okay. Takes a while.
Test it. Testing.
Do you want this one?
Thank you. Mi nombre es Roxanne Palestino y estoy aquí hoy para hablar sobre las enmiendas propuestas al Código de Conflictos de Interés del Distrito Escolar de San Isidro. En primer lugar, quiero reconocer los esfuerzos del distrito por actualizar el código para reflejar mejor nuestra estructura organizativa y procesos de toma de decisiones actuales. Sin embargo, tengo varias inquietudes que espero que se consideren antes de que se finalicen estas enmiendas. La transparencia y la rendición de cuentas son esenciales para mantener la confianza pública. La eliminación a revisión propuestas de los títulos para ciertos puestos podrían oscurecer quien es responsable de tomar decisiones críticas. Es fundamental que todas las personas con autoridad para tomar decisiones estén claramente designadas en el código actualizado, con sus funciones y responsabilidades claramente delineadas. Además, los requisitos de divulgación deben seguir siendo integrales. Todos los involucrados en la toma de decisiones deben continuar brindando divulgaciones financieras detalladas para evitar conflictos de interés y garantizar la integridad de las operaciones de nuestro distrito. La participación pública también es vital. El distrito debe buscar y valorar activamente las opiniones de la comunidad, brindando amplias oportunidades para participar. Esta participación fortalecerá la eficacia de nuestra política. Es importante que las modificaciones reflejen con precisión la estructura organizativa y los procesos de toma de decisiones actuales. El código revisado debe basarse en información actualizada para gestionar los conflictos de interés de manera eficaz. También quiero destacar la historia de nuestro distrito. En 2016, un informe del Gran Jurado reveló una mala gestión financiera significativa y una falta de supervisión. Esta historia destacada la necesidad de una supervisión estricta, transparencia y participación de la comunidad. Servimos a uno de los distritos escolares más pobres de California, donde al menos una quinta parte de nuestros estudiantes no tienen hogar. Nuestra comunidad merece algo mejor. Un código de conflictos de interés sólido y claro es crucial para construir y mantener la confianza pública. Miembros de la mesa directiva, consideren cuidadosamente estos puntos. Necesitamos un código de conflictos de intereses que garantice la transparencia, la rendición de cuentas, la divulgación integral y la participación pública activa. My name is Roxanne Palestino, and I'm here today to address the proposed amendments to the San Ysidro School District's Conflict of Interest Code. I want to acknowledge that the district's efforts to update the code to better reflect our current organizational structure and decision-making process. However, I have several concerns that I hope will be considered before these amendments are finalized. Transparency and accountability. They're essential to maintaining public trust. Can I get a little bit more time?
Is that what your
Could I say
second,
in Spanish?
is that what your second slip was? Or
The second
No.
step is different.
is it different?
And we do add time, so she can speak in both languages. So I
Thank
believe
you.
the time is,
I think it's six.
it's 5, so we have to add 2 more.
Oh.
The proposed removal or revision of titles for certain positions could obscure who is responsible for making critical decisions. It's crucial that all individuals with decision-making authority are clearly designated in the updated code, with their roles and responsibilities clearly outlined. Disclosures requirements must remain comprehensive. Everyone involved in decision-making should continue to provide detailed financial disclosures to prevent conflicts of interest and ensure the integrity of our district's operations. Public participation is also vital. The district must actively seek and value community input, providing ample opportunities for public feedback. This engagement will strengthen the effectiveness of our policies. It's important that these amendments accurately reflect the current organizational structure and decision-making process. The revised code must be based on up-to-date information to manage conflicts of interest effectively. I also want to remind everyone of our district's history. In 2016, a grand jury report revealed significant financial mismanagement and a lack of oversight. The history highlights the need for strict oversight, transparency, and community involvement. We serve one of the poorest school districts in California where at least 1/5 of our students are homeless. Our community deserves better. A robust and clear conflict of interest code is crucial to rebuilding and maintaining public trust. I urge the board to carefully consider these points. We need a conflict of interest code that guarantees transparency, accountability, comprehensive disclosures, and active public participation. Thank you.
Roxanne, Ysidro, You made another one for 3 minutes, as a community member on the Amendment 8.
Okay,
You want to speak on that?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, I turned it off again.
Are you speaking in Spanish as well?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm gonna set up, I can turn it on. Gracias por la oportunidad de hablar esta noche. Estoy aquí para abordar las inquietudes relacionadas con la enmienda propuesta al contrato de trabajo del superintendente, que incluye un aumento salarial. Según la enmienda, el salario base anual del superintendente se incrementará en 4% hasta 231,417,34 a partir del 1 de enero del 2024 y luego en un 2% adicional hasta 236,045 a partir del 1 de enero del 2025. Si bien una compensación justa es importante para atraer y retener un liderazgo eficaz, los detalles de esta enmienda propuesta no se han publicado en línea ni se han puesto a disposición del público de forma gratuita. Esta falta de transparencia plantea inquietudes importantes sobre cómo se está tomando estas decisiones y quién está siendo incluido en la discusión. Nuestra comunidad enfrenta necesidades urgentes que requieren atención inmediata. Muchos de nuestros niños no tienen acceso a áreas de juego accesibles para sillas de ruedas, lo que afecta su capacidad para participar plenamente en las actividades escolares. En la escuela primaria Sunset, los estudiantes están perdiendo herramientas de aprendizaje esenciales como Chromebooks. Además, nuestros maestros de educación especial están sufriendo agotamiento y abandonan el distrito debido a la falta de apoyo, lo que afecta negativamente la educación de nuestros estudiantes más vulnerables. Dados estos problemas críticos, creemos que es esencial retrasar la aprobación de esta enmienda salarial hasta que haya una mayor transparencia y más participación de la comunidad. Necesitamos una revisión exhaustiva de los cambios propuestos y una oportunidad para que los padres, maestros y miembros de la comunidad brinden comentarios significativos. Instamos a los miembros de la mesa directiva a extender el periodo de discusión de esta enmienda para garantizar que todas las partes interesadas participen, que nuestras decisiones reflejen las necesidades de nuestros estudiantes y de la comunidad. Gracias por su atención a este asunto. Esperamos un proceso transparente e inclusivo que priorice el bienestar de nuestros estudiantes y aborde las necesidades urgentes de nuestra comunidad. Thank you for the opportunity to speak again tonight. I'm here to address concerns regarding the proposed amendment to the superintendent's employment agreement, which includes a salary increase. According to the amendment, the superintendent's annual base salary will be increased by 4% in January 1st. And another 2% January 1st, 2025. Fair compensation is important for attracting and retaining effective leadership. The details of this proposed amendment have not been published online or made freely accessible to the community. The lack of transparency raises significant concerns in how these decisions are being made and who is being included in the discussion. Our community is facing urgent needs that require immediate attention. Many of our children do not have access to wheelchair accessible playgrounds, which affects their ability to fully participate in school activities. At Sunset Elementary, students are missing out on essential learning tools such as Chromebooks. Furthermore, our special education teachers are experiencing burnout and leaving the district due to insufficient support, negatively impacting the education of our most vulnerable students. Given these critical issues, we believe it is essential to delay the approval of this salary amendment until there is a greater transparency and more community input. We need a review of the proposed changes and an opportunity for parents, teachers, and community members to provide meaningful feedback. We urge the board to extend the discussion period for this amendment to ensure that all stakeholders are involved and our decisions reflect the needs of our students and the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have Kenya Peraza, South Bay Community. Item 12D.25.
Buenas.
Is it working?
Mine, yeah, it is. Okay.
Buenas noches a todos. Mi nombre es Kenia Peraza y estoy emocionada de anunciar que me postulo para la mesa directiva de San Isidro. Como miembro activo de la comunidad de San Isidro y madre involucrada, tengo un entendimiento de primera mano de los desafíos y oportunidades que enfrentamos para mejorar la educación. Como muchos de ustedes, soy una madre que quiere lo mejor para sus hijos. Creo que podemos crear un mejor ambiente educativo para todos nuestros niños, asegurando que cada niño reciba una educación de calidad en un entorno inclusivo y de apoyo. Junto con la colaboración de otros padres y maestros, podemos llegar a lograr la meta número 3 del LCAP, el cual es la colaboración de padres. Durante años he estado profundamente comprometida con nuestras escuelas, asistiendo regularmente a las reuniones de la junta de la escuela y abogando por cambios que beneficien a nuestros estudiantes. Mi compromiso de estar presente no cambiará. Seguiré asistiendo a cada reunión, tal como siempre lo he hecho, porque creo que la participación activa y constante es clave para un liderazgo efectivo. Escuchar las voces de los padres es crucial. Estoy comprometida a enseñar sus preocupaciones e ideas y asegurarme de que sus voces sean reflejadas en cada decisión que tomemos. Sus experiencias y comentarios son invaluables y trabajaré incansablemente para que se guíen nuestros esfuerzos para mejorar nuestras escuelas. También estoy comprometida a defender los valores y tradiciones que hacen única a nuestra comunidad de San Isidro. Juntos podemos aportar nuevas ideas, transparencia y una presencia fuerte y de apoyo a la mesa directiva de San Isidro. Les pido su apoyo y su voto para que podamos lograr cambios significativos para el futuro de nuestros niños. Muchas gracias. I'm also gonna say it in English. That's why I slowed down. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kenia Peraza, and I'm excited to announce that I am running for the San Ysidro School Board. As an active member of San Ysidro community and an involved parent, I have a first-hand understanding of the challenges and opportunities we face in improving education. Like many of you, I am a mom who wants the best for their children. I believe we can create a better educational environment for all of our kids, ensuring that every child receives a quality education and inclusive and supportive setting. Together, we can complete the number 3 goal of the LCAP, which is parent involvement. For years, I have been deeply committed to our schools, attending board meetings, regularly advocating for changes that benefit our students. My commitment to showing up will not change. I will continue to attend every meeting, just as I always have, because I believe that consistent, active participation is key to effective leadership. Listening to the voices of parents is crucial. I am dedicated to hear your concerns and ideas and ensuring that your voices are reflected in every decision we make. Your experiences and feedback are invaluable, and I will work tirelessly to ensure they guide our efforts to improve our schools. I am also committed to upholding the values and traditions that make our community unique. Together, we can bring fresh ideas, transparency, and a strong supportive presence to the San Ysidro board. I ask for your support and your vote so we can make meaningful changes to our children's future. Thank you.
Ms. Peraza, may we clarify? I apologize.
Yeah.
There's 2 speaker sets, and we just wanted to make sure you have the opportunity to speak to both.
Okay.
I think you spoke to one.
Yes.
Do you have
One
another
is for
one?
another item, so I didn't know if I can speak right now or during the item.
Oh, thank you for clarifying.
I think what
Now
you
is
were looking at was the 1225D. We were supposed to talk about that one first.
Yeah, can I talk about that one right now?
If you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so now we're on the one for 12D.25. Is that Stein Education?
Yes, page
Thank you, Ms. Perez.
Can you use the indications then? Or just?
No, this time just. Okay. Good afternoon again. Thank you for the opportunity to speak again. I want to address an important issue regarding our approach to specialized education settings, like the Stein Education Center, and emphasize the need for maintaining a focus on temporary placements and inclusion. Specialized settings can provide crucial support for students whose needs cannot be fully met in a general education environment. However, it's vital to remember that these placements should serve as temporary measures, not permanent solutions. Our ultimate goal should always be reintegrate these students into general education settings as soon as they are ready. Every student deserves a free, appropriate public education in the less restrictive environment. This means we must strive to include students in general education classrooms to the greatest extent possible, while providing the necessary supports and accommodations. Inclusion helps students develop vital social skills, fosters academic growth, and prepares them for life in the broader community. Long-term placement in specialized settings poses risks such as social isolation, dependency, and stigma. To mitigate this risk, it is essential to, 1, develop clear transition plans, outline specific steps for reintegrating students into general education settings, and set measurable goals. 2, promote inclusion. Regularly evaluate the effectiveness of specialized placements and adjust plans as needed. And that's to monitor progress. By focusing on these practices, we ensure that specialized settings serve their purpose without becoming long-term solutions. Our commitment is to provide each student with the best possible education, fostering the growth and integration into a more inclusive environment. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. Together, we can continue to support our students effectively and inclusively. Thank you again.
Thank you. So now it's Summer Geese.
Maybe just speaking English or.
Hi, good evening. My name is Summer Gergis, and I am here as a community member concerned with the implementation and progress of your Regional Community Advisory Committee, also known as CAC for Special Education. I believe that you have not yet met the mandate of California state law, although you are on your way. I am here to encourage you to look at the work and success of neighboring community advisory committees, CACs, to learn how these districts collaborate with their special education communities to build and strengthen their programs. I am here to encourage you to send special education leaders to attend all CAC meetings with the intent to learn and collaborate with the community. That is not yet taking place. I am here to encourage you to meet with the CAC executive members and your special education directors to understand and meet community needs and concerns. Perhaps you might request a quarterly report of their efforts and goals to your board. Finally, I am here to encourage you to ask your principals, teachers, and special education staff to promote community attendance at all CAC meetings. These meetings provide the opportunity for parent training and parent-district collaboration of special education local area planning. Your attention to these actions will show that you truly value parent input. The next CAC meeting is scheduled for 10 a.m. on October 24th at the South County SELPA office, which is at 680 L Street. Thank you for your time.
Angelica Martinez.
Oh, I was gonna give my. That's fine.
Okay.
Sure.
Do you know which agenda?
I'll look at it later.
Oh. Oh, I forgot it here.
Just, can you give me a minute?
Of course.
Do you want
Oh, wait.
No, you guys could go on.
Are you gonna do a public? I thought you were going to. Lo que pensaba que sí.
Yes, where to?
Por eso te apuntó la respuesta. Ajá. Just say public comment. Si no quieres, no. I can support.
Ms. Martinez, when.
Yeah, I'll go.
No, you don't need to come now. When you're ready, and you know which item you're speaking to, would you let
Public.
Mr. Ortega?
It'll be public comment.
So it's okay now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello. So I'm here to support Kenya. She's been advocating for, special ed and the CAC. And I really respect her for that. So that's why I'm here, just to make sure that she is known by everybody else and that she has a team behind her and she's well supported. She's a good person. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Number 10.
So now we're on item 10, item number board and superintendent.
Can look this up too.
Your choice, Madam President. Okay. Perfect. I want to welcome everyone back. I know it's the month of the back to school. I first want to say congratulations to Dr. Potter for organizing with her team a great welcome back event. Having Dr. Shirley Weber, the Secretary of State, recognize our school district and come down from Sacramento is a big deal. I think that knowing that she's supporting our district with everything that she represents is an excellent thing. So I just want to say congratulations to everyone who helped organize it. I see Christina, I see Miguel, everyone, Connie, everybody. So I just want to say thank you all for organizing a great welcome back event. I also want to give a very special thank you to Vero for organizing our annual resource fair. I had the opportunity, I was first concerned just because I knew it was going to be outside and it's been hot lately, but we had the solar panels, so we were able to go underneath it, so we were good. Right, and the fact is that Vero organizes these events consistently. This particular one offered free backpacks to both parents and students that attended. So I can just say, from the bottom of my heart, Beto, thank you for everything you do. The fact that we had that many community partners there on a Saturday morning, that's an excellent thing. Shows the community is with us. I think more importantly, that our community partners are with us. So, and mind you, I worked for a nonprofit health center for about 10 years. So I know how important it is to have the support and the organization of the different nonprofits. So I just want to say congratulations to Beto, everyone that organized the resource fair. It was excellent. Mr. Borges?
Mr. Borges and Mr. Little were the heroes in Connie and
Okay.
and this is me. I have to give a special shout out to them. They saved the day.
Well, I'm going to give a special shout out to Connie. Mr. Randy gets in there as well. Everyone. No, I honestly really appreciate it. The fact is it was well attended, Beto, and I just appreciate it. I'm also looking forward to attending our back to school events that are going to be coming up in all of our schools. And finally, I do want to, I know I bug almost every meeting I'm talking about this, but I'd love to have another presentation, given that we're going to have, obviously we're starting a new school year, on our upcoming community construction projects. I really would like to, if possible, maybe even organize a couple of town halls. Essentially, the word out of what we're going to be using the bond money for. But I think more importantly, the fact is this community definitely deserves a summary of what we're doing in terms of that. Particularly the Buyer Community Resource Center, the preschool, modernization of Sims, all that's extraordinarily important and something that I'm very proud of that we're looking to do. So if we can do that, Dr. Potter, and maybe we can organize those town halls. I know it's more work, but I'd love to see if we can do something. And we don't have to organize it now. We can obviously have time, but maybe by the end of the year, if we can do something, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
And Madam President, that's it from my end.
Thank you. Anaya?
Good evening. Gotta get close to this. Welcome back, everybody. It's nice to have a full boardroom with lots of people ready to work the new school year. Our welcome back opening was filled with the coming together of all staff and celebration. Wow, the NCC was just filled with people who were just eager for the first day of school, principals, teachers, all staff that worked really hard to put together that event, the mariachi that celebrated and sang with us, something very important in our community. And definitely Dr. Weber was the highlight. Her words, her story, her experience, it just really makes us think that nothing is impossible. And when you believe in children, nothing is impossible for them. So I know that with this new year, our theme of transcend, we only have one way to go, forward to help our children succeed, every child. That is one thing about this district, and I can say it because I've been here more than 40 years. I now have lived more of my lifetime in San Ysidro than in East LA, even though East LA will always stay here in my heart. But I can say, in the 90s is when I remember we had stability with the superintendent that was here longer than 5 years. We have had Dr. Potter for 7 years. And 7 can be a number that some people may think like, good luck or not. It's good luck in because you all know what we've gone through if you've been here for many, many years. And this is a tribute to the hard work and the leadership. And that is very important for our community. And I've never been in a district office where I can smile and salute every single person up here because I know you care about every child in this district. I didn't used to feel like that. There was times when I couldn't even come up here because I was beat up by administrators for speaking up at board meetings. So, I mean, this makes me very passionate and very emotional because I've lived it, and the stability is what our children needed. So to be able to go to school the first days, I wasn't able to make all the schools. You guys have to know it's really hard to make all the schools, but most of them, we split ourselves up. I just love the joy. Even the kids that cried the first day as a kindergarten teacher, I was ready for those criers. But sometimes it just lasted 2 minutes and the moms were the ones crying in the parking lot, texting their friends, even the dads, y las abuelitas y los abuelitos. But I know our children are in good hands, and we were able to visit a few classrooms and just the joy. Kids love vacation time, but you know, I think after 10 days, they're ready, more ready than their parents, because there's too much going on at home. There's too many chores they have to do. There's too many limitations on how long they can be on their devices. So coming to school, they get to be on devices where they are learning. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. It's 24-25. We're going to make it a great year, and it's going to be, the leadership is really working hard to always make things better for our children. And just as a teacher, I was really kind of disappointed when I started teaching that they did away with life credentials, because I thought, you know, I don't ever have to reapply or do anything. I'll get a life credential. Well, I was the first year when they did away with them. And when I look back, that was the best thing the state of California did, because it makes everybody continue professional growth. You always have to continue learning because things change. You can't do things the old way. We have to always be understanding that children are always learning differently every generation. So learning is very important. As board members, that's crucial too. So I was very happy to know that there are organizations across the state that this is their task, to get together and help board members become better representatives for the community that they serve. So I was attending the California Latino School Boards Association. Over 300 joined district leaders and board members, and we were collaborating on important pathways as the theme was unity. And that is the greatest thing that I can think of for our district, to continue working together for our kids. And just meeting 300 people that I didn't know. I only knew Rudy and maybe 3 other people. But I left Sunday knowing at least 100 more. And probably more because they asked me to get up and say something. So you know me. If I get up and say something, and then with the curly hair and the standout shawl, I think some people remember. So I just want to say that whenever I have an opportunity to speak of the great things that happen in San Ysidro for our children, I am going to advocate all the good things that we have done. And yes, there are a lot of things that we could get better, but that's life in every aspect. You always look for how to improve. And this is what's my greatest takeaway, the state of English learners. This is going to be my next Bible for the next year in working with our multilingual committee. The people who have done the work in this document, it's golden, because it truly, truly exemplifies California really finally understanding the value of children's culture and language, and Spanish being the #1 language spoken across the nation, a second, other than English. So we have a lot of work, but there's a lot of support out there. And I know that we're in good hands with the team that we have. And thank you for your leadership. 7 years, I think that is something to applaud for, because every other superintendent prior to the 7 years, we had a lot of issues and a lot of money lost and a lot of money taken from the district and from the children. So I thank you, and I thank the board working together, and the staff and the administration, teachers, and I hope I don't forget anybody from the people that organize the school to get it ready. Every single one of you matters, and we matter for children. They care for us, they trust us, and the main theme of this conference was gratitude and love. If you don't have gratitude for people who are working, then we don't have anything. We don't have leadership. And if you don't have love, I used to say that in kinder, hazlo con amor y cariño. If a child brought to work and was all messed, I said, no, tienes que hacerlo con amor y cariño. And they will remember. I've run into a 38-year-old former student. They say, ay, teacher, con amor y cariño lo hago. So we have to think that. Gratitude and love. And I know it doesn't solve everything, but it sure makes the world a better place to live.
Follow up with that, Rudy.
I'm gonna say things tonight. First of all, welcome back to everybody. I usually enjoy the welcome back event, but this year I was on jury duty, so I would have much rather have been with you guys. I also attended CLSBA with Mr. Rosario, And one of the major themes of workshops was community schools. And there's a lot of districts out there that aren't on the community school train yet. They want to be, they're excited about it. And I'm proud to say that we are one of the first. Ms. Vero Medina is leading the way with that. I'm glad to know that we are actually in the implementation phase. We did receive a $5.7 million grant that's going to go for the next 5 years. Our schools are going to be Berry, so Sim, the middle schools, Sunset, Willow, and Smythe. So I was very excited, like Ms. Rosario was when she got up in her sessions, to be able to say that San Ysidro is already in the process of developing our community school program. So it's like Ms. Rosario said, it's a stark contrast to where we were when I first got here, where we went to some of these things to advocate for us, and people would say, "Ooh, San Ysidro." Now I say, "Oh, San Ysidro." So I'm very glad for that change. If we're going to be handing out more work to people, I want to say that Bruno started school at Sweetwater a couple weeks ago, and yesterday I attended one of 2 parent mixers, which they have. So I know all of our campuses have a back to school night. So the parent center at Sweetwater, I know it's a much bigger district and they offer a lot more things and there's a lot more parents. But it was a very well attended event. There was about 45 people. It was a hybrid. There was 45 people in person and 67 people on Zoom. And basically it's run by the Connies and Christinas of the world. What they do is they present options for family engagement. They spoke about DPAC and DLAC and how to get on there. So then you go back to your school site and you go on school site council, you go to ELAC. They mentioned the bond oversight committee. So they basically ran through all the different ways parents can get involved, all the different committees they can represent. Also athletics and stuff like that. I know we do have some stuff that we can offer in that regard, but I thought it was very well. They did it. I attended the morning session yesterday. There's going to be an evening session next week. I thought that would be a good thing. I remember when I first got on all those things, I just filled out something that Bruno brought home and I signed it, and the next day I got called and said, "Oh, you're on school site council," and that's how I learned. But I think it's a good opportunity to get families engaged, and I really appreciated that. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I just want to say, not very much want to say anyway, but welcome back to all our administrators, assistant principals, our directors, our assistant superintendents, all staff that has worked very hard, and now here we go for another year. But I know that we can communicate and work together and make it even better. And I just wanted to say that there is a difference when I gone and they've called me from different school boards and told me, how did you guys do this? How did you? And I said, well, we have 3 persons that work a lot. Our superintendent, also our assistant superintendent of student services. And we also have people that run projects, especially for our family that are homeless and have brought some money in, grants that they've written. They work very hard in helping these parents because they come from outside to our district for a reason. Because this is where they find that we do listen, we do help, and we do provide. And that's, I think, the most important thing. But also, I know that we have this bike lane in our community from Sandag. And I'm gonna let Dr. Parter know that I'm very upset because I live on West Farm and it's hectic. Right now, it was Byron Way, if you see all that parking is gone for Villanueva, Mr. Terrace, and all those homes. So where are they parking? Well, they're parking down on my street because there's no other parking for them. And that's caused a lot of that. Who decided this? Anyway, I did write to.
I can tell you, but I won't say that.
I did write an email to Todd Gloria, our mayor, and I got a message back from them, and they came down to look and took pictures, and I told them, you see the waste of what they're doing to our community, but they never had a meeting with our community for the whole community. It's not just Casa Familiar, it's the whole community. It affected all of us, and now they're making it from the border to the Bay Area. But the point is that, there is a petition going out asking people to sign, and I know that, they're using groups from our community and young groups to go and visit, the Vista Terrace, Villanueva, and all those homes to sign the petition. And parents are upset, and I know they have that right to do that petition, but we found out that it's, the county supervisor who's in charge, so we're gonna send that petition to her, Nora Vargas, and let her know. And I know that I let Dr. Potter know, and she's gonna make an appointment to see if she'll, see us and take her the information that we need from our community of the, what's a nonsense, it's a waste of money. There's other things that they could do, like put, lights in our alleys where people get, robbed and attacked from getting off the trolley. They go, why can't they do that? That's what they need. Anyway, he did come down to the opening of La Semilla. It's a little project that, Casa Familiar brought. And I look at the land because that used to belong to one of our teachers, Mrs. Heddich, owned that land. They bought it from her, well, not from her, from the person who took over. And they bought that little land, and it's gonna be like a little park, a little area where families can come in and sit down we want trees, we want, shade. There's gonna be a little cafeteria or little stands with food. But what we asked for in the committee that I was on, when they first started this, we said, okay, but we'd like to have security there 24 hours. Because the young groups will come, smoke, drink here, and then they wanna tag. We don't want that. We want there to be secure so that the elderly people or anybody who lives in the community can come and sit for a while and come and, even see the plants or learn how to, plant some of the trees and stuff. It's a community event, and so they put that on there. So right now, they have different groups that they've reached out for the money to do this. So it's gonna be a nice little area, and it shows a diagram. I'm gonna have to show you that. But it shows what they were doing and how it's gonna be built. So that'll be something for our community to have, something different and something good for our kids also and our community. The other thing I wanted to say was about the welcome back. It was a very good turnout with everybody coming, and the chilaquiles were very good. But also, it's a time for them to come back and see each other for having a summer vacation, and it's good. It changes the monotony of every day, coming into the classroom, getting prepared, but it helps us to see each other and welcome each other, and having the music of the mariachi also was another good part for everybody, element for everybody. But the most important thing was Dr. Weber, who was someone I met when she was on the school board of San Diego Uniform many years back. And I felt, wow. And what she gave as a topic was something that I felt kind of brought memories to our community, not only memories, what she went through, her and her family. But she made it, and she came out as a doctor, educated, and there was a lot of racism in their family where they came from, when she came in to live in, I think it was Los Angeles, yes, but it was, she came from Hope, Arkansas. That was really something that I think history that is there and at those times. But I think now, to see what she's done with her life and how she's made it for a Secretary of California is something that really honors her. But most of all, she took the time to come and talk at our school district. And I think that that brought a lot of knowledge, not only knowledge, but I think respect, not only from all staff, because as we went afterwards, I wanted to say goodbye to her. Everybody wanted to take a picture, and we're telling her, you really inspired me, and you know about our community, you feel, and we feel what you felt when you were talking. So I think that brought us together even more. that there is somebody up there that went through the same thing and knows. But her to come and to our welcome back was something extraordinary that I don't think you'll find very many people that have that. So I wanted to thank Dr. Parker and the whole staff that did so much to do all the arrangements and decorations, the business office, and also on the day of the resource for Veronica. Mr. Iniguez, Mr. Little were also involved. Also Lupita had a lot to do. She was up and down telling the custodians and the parents and the people that were there volunteering at different stands, was showing them, oh, you tell them this, you tell them that, bringing them over here. So it was nice, and I think we had about 300, almost 300 parents, families that came. And I think that's nice because that's something that we don't really find. And I know there was a family from Ocean View that said that they came from, what was it?
Jamaica.
From where?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. And he says, you know, in our country, there's nothing like this. We don't, you know, it's very unusual, but he was really, him and his family told us, I'm thankful that, you know, my kids have this opportunity and all these businesses that are here to offer us help. The clinic and all that have been very good. So it's really encouraging and it helps, you know, to say thank you, Veronica, for having that communication with those organizations that come out to this and offer all that help that our families do need and continue to need. So it takes, you know, a really people like you that lived here and went to school here, but also other people that are here now that see that. I think, you know, it's bringing us to be available for our kids, most important, and our families. And it takes a lot of work, I know, and it takes a lot of dedication. So I want to thank everybody because it's not easy. It's not easy. It's hard. And I think that us being San Ysidro, we sometimes get the slap in the back. Oh yeah, you're okay, you know, but they don't really understand our community. They don't know what we've done and haven't been here to really see how we've grown and how we become from different agencies, different audits. We've gotten an A+. And that's something we haven't done in a long time. And I've been here because I gave 40 years of my life to this district as an employee. But I grew up with a lot of people and a lot of staff, and I'm still here. But I want to say thank you because I think it's something that nobody can take that away from us that we have right now. So thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone, and I'm excited to welcome you back to our new 2024-2025 school year. And boy, it's hard to follow these four, to be honest. Just on July 24th, what an amazing day to welcome back all about 650 of our staff members to the new school year. And I have to do a shout out particularly to Miguel here and Araceli, who's not in the room. They really were planning this welcome back staff event with great detail, Christina, and really working hard to make the welcome staff back event just truly wonderful. 2 weeks before the event, we had Mr. Lewis and the team here, our tech team, Gianfranco's in the back there. They were trying to make sure all the TVs were working and the audio and the visual were working. We had our MOTF crew, Dr. Iniguez and the crew out there literally shining the floors of San Ysidro Middle School's multi-purpose room and multicultural center. And it was just phenomenal, sewing the holes in the curtains, you know, to make sure it really looked like a beautiful space, and even taking down the one helium balloon that at the end of the year had floated like 30 feet up to the ceiling. We had people that were climbing the ladder to try to get it down with a broom or something. So it was just quite wonderful. Who climbed that ladder? Oh, so Miguel climbed the ladder, that's right. I climbed the ladder. Yeah, we helped the ladder, he climbed the ladder. So just want to say that it was absolutely wonderful. And a shout out to the business team, the tech team, MOTF team, our administrative office team. Shout out to all of the principals and our leaders in our school district for uniting their department and their school teams. And then a shout out to Eddie. Eddie is our teacher from San Ysidro Middle School. He was our photographer. One day I went across the street, I said, Eddie, what kind of camera is that? And he had a personal camera, it was a DSLR. So any of you who are photographers, a DSLR camera is a pretty cool camera, right? And it takes like kind of like that old fashioned camera that we used to have, but like high tech. And I realized he had this unique ability and talent to take photos. He took all our photos and we just sent them out, I think, this week. So hopefully you all were able to see the photo gallery. Those are Eddie's photos, so he's our own. So you know he'll always be with us as a photographer now. We have talent in our district. Truly, it was remarkable. It took me a moment to realize it, and I had the absolute pleasure for about 20 years to collaborate with the Secretary of State, Dr. Shirley Weber, not when she was Secretary of State, but before when she was an Assembly member. And she and I did mighty things up in Sacramento to move mountains for education and really look at the educational policy in California and advocate for the children, the 6 million children that we serve in California. I knew her in that capacity, and then coming here and asking her and realizing, oh, now she's the Secretary of State. And it took me a minute before I had her walk up on stage to realize that here's the governor, right, of California, and then here's the lieutenant governor, and then third in charge of California is the Secretary of State. I hadn't quite realized it until she came on our stage at San Ysidro Middle School on our Welcome Back to School event for our 650 staff members to be the keynote speaker, the inspiring person that she is, a woman of color to have achieved the third in charge of the entire state of California, and her story of a father in Arkansas who was a farm worker who had the lynch mob after him to come and try to assassinate him. And the fact that her family fled to California and they survived this horrific racist event. And then she herself became the first to go to college at San Diego State and achieved not 1, but 3 degrees by the time she was 26 years old. And such an inspiring story for our community here to achieve, to know that there are no boundaries for what we can achieve here, right? And there are no boundaries for us as the family of San Ysidro, as adults. There's no boundaries for our parents of the children that come to our district, and there are no boundaries for the children that we serve. That they can also achieve to be a doctor, right? She's Dr. Shirley Weber, my goodness, right? Despite all those horrific challenges that she endured and survived as a child, that even now, as an adult, as a leader in California. So I was truly inspired. When we invited her, I didn't realize what she had truly, remarkably become. And I would say she's one of our heroes in education, and she's just awe-inspiring as a leader. That first day back of school, for each and every one of you sitting in this room, our governing board members, our principals, our leaders, our staff members, and our colleagues, oh my gosh, with balloons and smiles and cheering and joy, we welcome back on Monday the 29th all of our 4,500 students to our school district. And gosh, I could not have been more proud of our school district. And with several of our colleagues up here from the dais, our governing board members, they traveled to the schools with me to see just this great welcome back and the hard work that our teachers and our custodians and our principals put into that first day of school. Thank you. Thank you so much. That 9th annual Family First Fair that Veronica started how many years ago? And she's coming up. Hi, Veronica. Hi, thank you.
9 years ago.
The 9th annual Resource Fair. At this point, you have had donated thousands of backpacks to give to our students, thousands of school supplies, thousands of shoes, eyeglasses, healthcare access, everything that they need, food. Thank you. Thank you. And for everybody who helped Veronica make that happen, let's give them a big clap. I went over to Sunset and I saw the kids on the first day of school. And I think I was with Miss Rosario and with Miss Lopez. And I said, I want to see the new grass field that Mr. Burciaga kept asking me for because the other one had failed. And so I say, Mr. Burciaga, our principal right here, show us your new grass field. So we get to the back of the grass field, and I have to share this story because it's so cute. If you see the highlights, you should look for this photo. I get to the back of the grass field, and they're looking at the grass field, and before I tried to take a picture of some of the staff members with the balls for the recess, and I turn and I look at our two board members, our board president and our board vice president. They had taken their shoes off. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what are they doing? They took their shoes off and they were jumping up and down like kids on the new grass field. And I had to take a photo. So you should look at the highlights. There's a photo of our two board leaders jumping up and down on the new. Dr. Iniguez, to you and your team, thank you. Because you not only made a joyous moment for our students at Sunset, but also for us up here at the dais. It was quite wonderful. I please welcome you to please advertise and come and give great gratitude to our teachers and our principals for the back to school events that are happening right now at all of our schools. Ocean View Hills first back to school event was that Friday of the first week of school. They paired it with a city event in the park, I believe.
Yes, it was movie in the park and a festival.
Movie in the park. And so what a novel idea to have a back to school event and pair it with this movie in the park that the city was doing. Thank you. Let's give them a clap. And then finally, to my familia de San Ysidro, thank you. I offer to you the two words that Miss Zenaida shared. I offer to you gratitude and love. Our San Ysidro family has been my family since I was a child. And to have the opportunity to be here, it's such a blessing for me to serve in this role. And I just want to say thank you. It fills my heart to be in our family, and I love our family.
Thank you. Now we're on 11, general administration. We will now move on to general administration action items. 11.2.
11.1.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, approve the minutes of the regular board meeting of July 11th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Martinez makes the motion. Senator Rosado seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. So now, 11.2 minutes. Item 11.2 is to adopt resolution number 2425-3011, amending the conflict of interest code of San Ysidro School District and directing that such amendment be submitted to the San Diego County Board of Supervisors as the district's code reviewing body, the government code S 82011, requesting approval of the amendment as required under government code section 87303.
So moved. Second.
No. We just read it, so it's okay.
Motion by
Thank you so much.
Martin, second by Rudy Lopez. May I have a vote?
Yeah, I think we have any discussion on this?
Yeah. Is this it?
No. Yeah, we can go first.
And thank you for
Okay, perfect. So for the record, the public comment that was set for this particular action item has been read.
Yes, it's our understanding, we did receive a written comment that was emailed to the district, and it's our understanding that it was read during the public comment period.
Correct.
Is that?
Yes, you're correct.
And then do we have any board members that have any discussion? If not, I will also discuss.
You can start and then I'll say something.
With regards to the district's conflict of interest code, which is agenda item 11.2, I just wanted to share that the district does work every year with our legal counsel, who ensures that our conflict of interest code complies with all regulations. The code lists all agency positions that involve the making or participation in making decisions that may foreseeably have a material effect on any financial interest. This covers agency members, officers, and employees, and it may include volunteers on a committee if the members make or participate in making government decisions. As such, members of the governance team and management positions listed in the Conflict of Interest Code are required to adhere strictly to the board bylaw 9270 and all of its provisions.
So just to clarify, if we don't approve this, Dr. Potter, we're violating the conflict of interest code.
Yes, I apologize, let me just, this adoption of the resolution amends the district's conflict of interest code as it has been updated by our legal counsel to be compliant.
So it keeps us in compliance.
It keeps us in compliance, but perhaps our legal counsel, Mr. Joseph Sanchez, can clarify more.
Yeah, this is required. Districts across the state are taking very similar actions. Basically, it's to look at where we are, what new positions have been created, what what positions are no longer here. Our firm reviews these for hundreds of agencies throughout the state, and this district is in compliance, and you are required to approve this in order to remain in compliance.
Thank you.
Mr. Sanchez, do you find our conflict of interest code to be transparent?
Yes, it is exactly in line with the state standards and with full transparency. And every member of this district who is required to do the reporting, those items have been submitted and are on file and can be viewed by the public at any time.
Ready for a vote?
Yes. May I have a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Passes 4-0. Okay, now we're on 11.3, annual financial audit report for general obligation bond measure T for fiscal year 22-23.
So moved.
I second.
Tony makes a motion. Snyder seconds. May I have a vote?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. 11.4, annual financial audit report for general obligation bond measure U for fiscal year 22-23.
So moved.
Antonio makes a motion, I'll second this. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. Eleven point five, eighth amendment to employment agreement with superintendent and Mr. Sanchez.
Yes, thank you, Board President. Pursuant to the Brown Act, any modifications to agreements with executive officers such as the superintendent of a school district, the key terms must be reported out prior to the board making a motion and voting on the item at the board meeting in which this is presented. This amendment was also published on our website, on the district's website earlier this week with all the other materials, so the public has had an opportunity to view this amendment. The key terms of the amendment are that the superintendent's agreement will be extended to June 30th, 2028, and that the superintendent's base salary shall be increased by 4%, retroactive to January 1, 2024, and further increased by 2% effective January 1, 2025. All the other terms and conditions of the agreement will remain in place. Thank you.
So we call for a motion or a second.
Correct. Okay. Make a motion? Antonio?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second by Rudy Lopez, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. 11.12. Okay, consent calendar. All items appear adopted by one single motion. There will be no discussion on these items prior to consideration of the motion unless a member of the board of superintendent requests that any such item be removed from the consent calendar and put it on separately.
So
I second.
no polls from my end, Madam President.
I have no polls.
No polls.
No polls either. So, may I have a vote?
Aye.
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 Passes 4-0. So. So now,
Adjourn.
adjourn, yes, at 7:51.
I'll make the motion, Madam President, to adjourn at 7:51.
All right, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Good night. Have a nice evening. Thank you.